use a grid, or with the levels, we can create the different levels for working on different floors. And if we go to the structure tab, this is more for like structural engineering. We see here like beams, or if we go to walls, we can also choose like some structural, or we can use also some structural floors and things like these. If we go to like the most important, I would say, is like then the insert. If we have like a reference picture or a reference PDF, and we want to use it as like a template, we're drawing over it, or just experimenting a bit, then we can use like import PDF or import image and place it here and trace it over. Then in Annotate, we can like make our plans more readable by using the tools here. Messing aside is relevant if we want to work on some topography, which will come in the following tutorials. And then view is for us maybe since the beginning relevant, because here we can see like we have the tab views or tile views. In the case that we want to have just like a view where we only see one plan, like this, for example, only the floor plan, we just use the tab view. And if we want to view several plans, then we use this tile views. What I do is usually I just use the tile view with the 3D view as well, in order to have a bit better overview of what is going on. And as you see here, I'm customizing it, which is just like by dragging and dropping. I think this will make a bit more sense once we start modeling something. And then we have, also in view we have like cameras. Later we will have tutoring about rendering, and here we can set up cameras and define what we want to render this way. There are also tabs that appear only after we have placed some elements. For example, if I go to architecture, wall, I'm just going to place it randomly to show. Here we see that the modify tab is also appearing. And here we can modify what we want to do depending on what the element is. If it's a slab, for example, we can edit the outline of it. Or if we want to create a stair, then we copy it to this slab. And if I want to exit it, I just press escape on my keyboard. Okay, so in case, also something important, in case you are not seeing this properties window here, this is very useful. So you can just go to view, to user interface, and then check here if the properties is selected or if you are missing something else. Do all of you see like the properties and this project browser? Like maybe you can raise your hand. Like if someone is not seeing it, maybe they can raise their hand. Okay, that's good then. Alright, so maybe we can first start, like here we see the grids. Where do we create these grids is here in architecture. Data, we see this grid option here, and you can just click and drag. It tends to snap in place, but in case it's not, then you can hold the shift to keep it straight. We see here that we have this little lock. If we unlock it and I just want to extend this one, it will not affect the other ones. But if I bring it where it was and it's locked like this, and I extend this, we see that it will extend all the other ones. Let me maybe just zoom it in a bit. Yeah, this might be relevant depending on what you want to do, if you want to snap or not. Also, if you want to know what, like typically if you want to create a new axis, you just see here what the distance is, and let's say I want it to be like 5 meters apart, so I just type it. And I want it to be like a precise length, and I type it and I press enter. And then we see that without even clicking, it's starting on that 5 meter distance, and then I can just snap it back. And if it is the same length as the other ones, then it will automatically connect to them and lock. So the other thing is, if we want to use some measuring tools, then we can go to we can go to like the modify and then use this. Either it can be aligned or it can like measure between two distances, and we can do like a chain dimensioning like this. If you see, we don't really need to go that close to it. It will snap automatically in place, and when we are done, let's say I'm doing this, I can just drag it, and here I see all the dimensions created automatically. Alright, so now I'm just gonna delete this so we can start modeling some walls. If you want to delete something, you just select it like this by dragging, and then you press the delete key on the keyboard. Does anyone have any questions on that? Okay. So I'm going to start by going to the architecture tab, and I'm going to choose the structural wall because I think now I want to create some structural supporting system. And so the first important thing is to check here if you have selected the height or the depth. If you select the height and then in the unconnected you check, for example, the first floor, this means that the top constraint of the wall will be in the first floor. So it starts as a base on the level that we're drawing in, which here is like the ground floor, and I've defined now that it needs to go up to the first floor. Why this is important is because it can happen that I can change the height of this floor, and if it's connected like this, it's parametric, so it will change automatically. I can also define here where I want the wall to be drawn in reference to this line here. For example, I'm going to go with the wall center line, which means that it will be drawn directly in the middle of this. It also depends on the wall that you are drawing, but you can change this depending on your preference if you want, for example, to be outside. So to draw, you just click and drag. We see here the wall is already being created, and I'm just going to continue because like this way they are all connected, and in the end it will snap in place and create a wall that is closed. So if we see here the 3D view, this is what we have created until now. So this is the wall from the ground floor that goes up to the first floor. Next, it might happen that after we have drawn this wall, we want to change it. We want to change the composition of the wall. For that, if we click here, we see in this properties window that we mentioned is important. We see for the template that we started, here are the common walls that we need to use. So for example, this is like Mauerwerk, which is masonry, and I want it, for example, to be 36.5 centimeters, so I just click on it and we see that it was automatically changed. This I can do also by selecting all of them and change them at the same time, which I'm going to do now. To select the multiple walls, you just click on them and by pressing Control, holding on to the Control key and then select all of them. It's also possible to change completely the composition of the wall, not only the thickness. For example, I'm choosing this one here. Yeah. In case there is a wall composition that you want to use in your project, but you don't see it listed here, let's go to this wall here, for example, you can go to edit type. As we saw, here are the common walls that are already available in your family, in your template. And in case I want to create one that is personalized, I recommend to duplicate what you already have so that you don't override your template. And here I'm going to create a wall. I'm going to rename it. I'm going to do like 75 centimeter masonry wall. And as we see here in the construction, the structure, I go to edit, and here I can see what the composition of my wall is. I have the core structure. Maybe we can open this preview to see. And if I go to the thickness here, I can just define 75, and this will change. As we see here, it will change the composition of my wall. I can also, in this tab here, insert, I can add other layers to the wall. For example, I want to add some sort of finish. And if I click here, if you can see here these 3 dots, we just click on them, and it opens all the possible materials. For example, I'm going to go to like, some GIFs, and I'm going to click OK, and give it a thickness also. We see here that it's not appearing because the thickness is not defined yet. And now that I defined the thickness to be 5 millimeters, I can see it already appearing here. To keep the changes, you need to press OK. And apply, then OK again. And if we see now this wall is appearing here, we can zoom in, and it has also this finish that we wanted. Alright, so maybe we can also talk a bit about the 3D view. As you see here, it has this kind of representation, but if we go to the visual style, we can choose to have different kinds, depending on what we want. Wireframe is generally less heavy on the computer, and shaded is just a standard that we were using, and if we use realistic, it's going to try to depict also the materials that we had. Like this, it's more simplified. Of course, it's not like a real render, but it helps to take a view. I'm going to use shaded for now. Alright, so next we can try to do some interior walls. Like now, this is the structural wall. It has the property, the IFC property attached to it, that it is bearing. So if we go now to the wall and we want to create some just dividing wall that is not necessarily supporting the structure, then I'm going to choose the architecture function. I can again go here, and now I'm going to change something else. For example, the finish base exterior. In this case, we don't really have because it's just masonry. But if you notice here, it's snapping on the side of the line and not in the middle. And if I do this, it will connect automatically. Now, let's say I don't want to continue this anymore, I just press escape. And we see that the wall is already created, as we can see also here. Now, we're done with like a first level, and we want to go into the next, the first ground floor to create the structure. But I don't want to draw everything. So what we can do is just select all of the walls that I want to just pull up. And then we just do Control Copy. We go to like the modify panel, and then in the paste option we see like align to selected levels. And so far we only have 2 levels, so we go to the first floor and we press OK. In case we had multiple levels, we could also select all the ones, which we will test in a bit.